going down. We coming to you.
All right, hello. Aaron Branch here from socialagendas.com. I'm going to get started simply because I know a lot of people are going to watch this on the replay. And, you know, the reason why I had to do it at this time was simply because I've been scheduling this in for around a week. And every time I've left it to do it later on, it's just dragged and I just haven't got it done. So today I thought, you know what, end of the week, I'll make it a priority. It's been 2 weeks since I promised it to you guys in the group. This is the only place where I'm going to be sharing this video. So look, if you get value from it, make sure you, you know, share it with your friends, people who are interested in marketing, people who are interested in, you know, growing and learning about their own business from the perspective of their marketing and sales. Cool. So with that said, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is, look, first of all, what is the marketing and sales deep dive? So today I'm going to walk you through a presentation or a slide deck, if you like, which is the actual product that I've been delivering for clients now for over six to 8 months. This product was built out of necessity, simply because a lot of the work we were doing was actually getting used without without our say so, and first of all, without getting paid, right? And anybody in business knows that if you can't get paid, you're going to struggle to hang around very long. So this was kind of in response to giving away a lot of strategy, giving away a lot of content to clients in the proposals, having a few clients turn around and say, no, we can't do that right now for whatever reason, and then all of a sudden we see 2 months down the line that all of our ideas have been used and executed. Obviously not to the level that we'd probably have done it for that client. So look, the marketing and sales deep dive, that's why it was born. That was really a necessity. Obviously I had a mentor as well tell me about, look, you should be charging for this stuff. That was what one of my mentors said to me when he saw that a deal hadn't gone through, and he saw the proposal, and he's like, well, why would, this is the actual question he asked me, why would they do the deal? You've already told them every single thing that they need to do. And that really made me, step back and think, shit, I've been mugged off and been over-delivering for far too long. So look, what I want people to take away from this today, you can use this as a product. And if you're delivering services for businesses, if you're delivering, look, even if you're just working on your own business, I know there's a few people in the group who are just working on their own sales and marketing. It will give you another perspective on some of the areas that we focus on. Look, marketing and sales, you could go forever and forever analyzing and going over stuff. So it's an overview. It's a fair few slides, but it's broken down into real simple chunks so that we can actually evaluate the stuff that we need to know about the business. Cool. Let's get into it. Look, if you're here, say hello. I don't even know who, if anyone's here right now. I'm doing this through the software that I'm using to stream this. But I'm going to load it up on my phone as we're going on. Any questions, feel free to fire away. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to fire away questions, even if you're not watching it live. And I'll do my best to answer them for you in a timely manner. Look, I want people to benefit from this. I want you to take a lot of value away from this. And if we can achieve that, then it was well worth it. So I hope you enjoy. Cool. So the first slide, just to give you an overview. So you should have my screen up now. You should have the PowerPoint screen up on your screen. Let's just make sure that that's cracking, that's happening. I'm loading it up on my phone now. There we go. So I can see, oh yes, Jat Singh, how you doing, brother? Z Adam, salutations. Hussein, good to see you here. Seren, what's up, brother? Louis, Lewis, sorry, we need to catch up. We need to catch up. I apologise for taking so long, but look, you're here in the group now, so you're in the right place. That's the main thing. So cool. The first slide, guys. So I'm gonna also upload a link where you can download this in the comment section. So look, it's all done for you. I'm charging 2 to 3K to do this as a standalone product for my clients right now. They all love it because it really does give them a snapshot and a really unbiased view of where their business is and where it's got to in their history, right? So it's a really important, really powerful product to deliver your clients. So the first slide, let's get into it. Obviously, your name, your client's name. Remember, on these slides, all of the notes are made in capital and red text, okay? So the reason why it's all in capital and red text is so that it stands out and you can see it. Remember to remove all of the capital and red text after you've made your edits, guys, because the worst thing in the world is you hand this to a client and there's notes about how you've put this together. So make sure you remove all of that red text. Also, just a rule of thumb, make sure, what's happening, Luke? Glad to see you here, brother. Also, make sure that you get somebody impartial, so somebody who's very, critical or doesn't really give a shit about you and your business, and get them to proofread any documents that you're about to send to a client, okay? Or about to get printed. So we actually printed off the finished product and the finished version of this. Make sure you get someone impartial to proofread your shit, because your parents would probably be a good one. If you got your parents floating around, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to give an overcritical view of your work and what you're up to. So yeah, proofread, get rid of the red text, just some housekeeping rules there to make sure that you don't make any, fools of yourselves. Second slide. So look, attach a quote of your choice. I like this one by Mr. Jeff Bezos, or Bezos, however you want to pronounce it. What we do as marketers and what we do as people in business, the ones who are successful, do hard things well. And continue to try and do hard things well. I think it's really important. I'll put this in the beginning of every presentation just to make sure that the energy of the presentation is getting off on the right foot. You want people to be ambitious when they're seeing your work. You want them to feel inspired by the work that you do. Let me just zoom that in a little bit. So yeah, anyway, attach a quote of your choice. Not really the most difficult thing to understand. And here is the contents, guys. So the first thing we're going to do is give an overview. And that's basically a snapshot and an overview of everything that's going on in their digital presence. Then we go into the Shopify, look at some of the numbers there. Then we look at their web traffic. So we do that through Google Analytics. We look at their top products. We look at their paid social ads, which is obviously an area that we specialize in, being digital mercenaries that we are. Placement performance, the campaign usage. So this is all ad related. The ad creative. So what do the customers and the people on the other end actually see? The audiences, and then the MailChimp performance. So that could just be email marketing performance. Okay, whatever it is and whatever it needs to be. Cool. Straight into it. So look, only use images for sections that are in your proposal. By all means, guys and girls, if that is the case, you don't have to include every single category here. Okay, this is like, quite in depth. If they don't even have an email marketing software set up, there's nothing to even measure there. So you can remove the MailChimp performance straight away, right? They may not be running ads right now, so you can remove that and focus your whole presentation really on the actual sales and where they're coming from without the ads, right? So this isn't just based on advertising. This is based on the whole ecosystem that is marketing and sales for your client. To the digital overview, like I said, if they're not using MailChimp or something like that, get rid of it, throw that out, include whatever you want to include. This is only a framework, guys. There's no rules. Do what you want with it. This is just here to empower you to do it a lot easier and a lot quicker than if you were doing it on your own. So let's take a look at the numbers. So here on this slide, you want to give an overview of their whole digital / social presence. So grab their key platforms that they're operating on, whack in the data. I've put X's for you to just fill in. Very self-explanatory. Average site visitors per month, YouTube subscribers, email contacts that they can get in touch with, followers on Twitter, fans on Facebook, and then their Instagram followers as well. Again, double check all of this data. Don't send it out without triple checking it. You don't want to make a fool of yourself. Very, very simple. Here's the performance snapshot. So if any of you are familiar with a executive summary, it's kind of a summary of everything that you found from looking at the data. Okay, so here you just whack in your client's logo at the top. I call it the performance snapshot. Executive summary, for this client that we sent it to. It's not really that formal an industry that they're operating in. So you need to tailor whatever. You can call it the executive summary, call it the performance snapshot. It doesn't really matter, but always tailor it to your client. Always tailor it through the eyes of whoever's looking at it. If you need to make it a much more professional and formal, do it. It's whatever works for that client. Here you're going to give the summary and analysis of what you found through your audit. So look, through these different sections in the marketing and sales, we might find something, a pattern or a trend, or something that's happening in the Shopify side of things and the Shopify data that we have. So what we'll do is we'll just put that summary of data there. It'll make a lot more sense as we go through. Normally, we'll do around 10 points. Okay, so 10 points because there's a lot of data. There's a lot of things that we've learned. There's a lot of things that we've found out. Remember the reasons why a client should pay for this and why they'd want to pay for this. The primary reason is that we want them to have this before working on their ads, before working on their campaigns, is that we want a commitment, right? We want a commitment, not just a financial commitment, but we want a commitment that they trust in us and our analysis and what we can do before we actually commence building a new thing and a new, leads or sales machine for them. We want to make sure that they're committed. The second thing is we want to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're on the same team, right? So when you're delivering this report and you're delivering this marketing and sales deep dive, that client, all of a sudden you're sitting next to them, taking them through their own business. It shows that you care, that you're well versed and you're way, way, way ahead in terms of understanding their business and their needs, so that when you give the solution, they're going to absolutely bite your arm off because they already know that you know all of their problems. And look, what is good business? Providing solutions to problems. It's that simple. Again, second page of findings. You break these down by the sections that follow. This is like an executive summary. Already said that. Cool. So once we've done the performance snapshot, we need to look at what the growth drivers are. So what do we need to focus on to achieve growth in sales? That's what this client wants, right? You need to insert whatever word you want to in place of growth to make sure that it's relevant to that client and their objectives. Maybe they want engagement. Maybe they want more new customers engaging with their brand. Their sales are absolutely fine. You need to just change that word to whatever it is. What is their objective? And this question, the whole presentation, you should be answering this question throughout, right? So we've banged it down to 3 main areas. Look, what is going to grow a business in sales? What's going to make them more money? That's what they want to know. By the way, guys, any of you who are in here, if I'm going too fast, let me know. Give me some. If I'm going too fast, give me an angry face. If I'm going at a good pace, give me a thumbs up so I can actually know what's going on. Because if I'm going too fast, I'll slow it down. But yeah, there's a lot to get through, so I'll keep it at this pace right now. Again, whack in your client's logo. The 3 main drivers. Look, so we want more traffic coming more often and spending more money. That's pretty simple in terms of 3 things and actions that if we focus on these 3 individual actions, they're going to grow our client sales, right? They're coming, we get more people coming, they're coming more often, so they're returning to us and they're spending more money, right? So those are the three growth drivers that, you can talk your customer through, your client through. Cool. So now we jump into Shopify. So now look, obviously I can't give you, you dirty dogs, my clients or a client's numbers, right? It just isn't compliant. So here, it's very simple. If any of you are familiar with Shopify, which if you're working with an e-commerce client, you better get familiar with Shopify. You need to just literally go in there and get familiar with the analytics graphs that you can grab. These analytics graphs, really good. You can straight away just screenshot the time and dates that you want to focus on. So in this one, we're focusing on the last couple of years of sales. Okay, so if you can imagine 2014, 2015, 16, 17, and the total sales that have gone through Shopify for those years. Why are we doing that? Look, we want to know the trend. Are sales steadily increasing? Are they fluctuating? Are they consistent? That's what you're going to type in on the right hand side in terms of the analysis. Okay, you're going to whack in analysis on yearly sales 1, and you're going to replace that with, I don't know, the sales have gradually increased by X percent year on year for the last 4 years or 3 years. Yeah. The red text again, are sales growing? Have they been rising, falling? Focus on the focus here is on the long-term view. Okay. Next slide. Now we're going into the most recent period. Okay, so now we're looking at the beginning of the year, January to April, which is obviously last month. Now we're comparing, so the same way we did the graph for the yearly view, we're comparing the start to every single year from 2015 to 2018, so the most recent history. And look, the analysis you might put in there as an example, I've put the lowest start to sales in the past 3 years by a small range. So we've looked at the yearly overview, now we're getting a bit more specific on what's just happened and how that compares to the years before. Good. It's good for your client to know. They want to see that. Not only, your client knows this stuff inside and out. They're living it every single day. You need to make sure that they know that you know it and that it's important to you. Okay. Next slide. The quarter overview. Okay. So now we're not breaking it down on a yearly. We're getting again more specific. As we're, as you can see, if you imagine a funnel, we've started out quite wide with the yearly view. Now we're breaking it down into the most recent months, and now we're going into the quarter view, the quarter overview for 2017, right? So 4 quarters in a year. For any of you that didn't know, again, export that Shopify graph for the last year, and you're going to screenshot that graph and put it in. Here, we focus on the percentages of total sales, okay? So we want to know where people are spending the most money, and we want to know, the question that follows that is, look, if we start seeing certain quarters that are doing really, really well and others that aren't, we want to investigate that. We want to go and cross-reference that with their social media. Let's go and have a look at their Instagram for those dates and see if there was any promotions on, were there any, particular partnerships. What is the reason for the increase or the decrease or the fluctuations in sales? Very, very important to know. So that's going to aid you in, again, you're understanding your customer's business from a financial standpoint on a quarter overview for 2017. Literally, you're going to screenshot the graph, put it in there, and then you're just going to fill out you replace the X's with the percentage of total sales. Okay, give a bit of analysis. So much of sales came at this time. So how do we, what's the problem? Why aren't there so many sales coming this period, this period? Pretty simple stuff. And look, if any of this stuff is not making sense to you and it's sounding alien, again, this is as simple as it gets in terms of, looking at sales over a period of time. I hope that you can see, wherever you are right now, you can see why it's important to go from a yearly to most recent period to quarterly overview, and why that progression is good. Because look, if we start seeing patterns, we can start tailoring our solutions to improving all of these different areas. Okay, there's 12 months in a year. Customer trends, when are people buying, when aren't people buying? If you're throwing tons of ad spend into a period which over the last 4 years your client has spent money in and has not got good results in terms of purchases, guess what? You're going to save yourself a lot of embarrassment and time by not making the same mistake through knowing their numbers and seeing this data, right? So that's it. Whack that graph in there. Again, this is 2017. The next slide. Luckily, this is going to be, posted as a recording, so you can rewind it if you missed anything. And if you still don't get it after you've re-listened to it, then drop a question in the comments. So so again, we're breaking it down even finer. So now we're going into the monthly overview. So look, we know when the periods of the year on a quarter overview are, that the company's doing well or better, and we're now looking at the months. So which months are hot? So in this example, I've done Jan, Feb, March. Replace that with your client's data. Literally, it's as simple as changing the view preference on Shopify. So instead of doing a quarter overview, you'll just click month. You can go down to day if you'd like to, but we don't dig that deep, right? Next slide. Need to have a quick sip of this drink. I'll assume that, because this is going to be recorded, if you are struggling to keep up, you can rewind it, right? Getting through it, man. It's a lot. So, by the way, by now you should realize we're only on the 16th slide. There's a fair amount of work that has to go into this to actually get it to being something of value to your client, right? So now you're starting to understand, why does a client pay 2 to 3K to have you aggregate and analyze all of this data? It's not only the time, it's the value you're bringing by bringing all of these different areas and putting them into a linear format, right? So the monthly compared to the previous year. So on here, we're going to export the 2018 sales for the most recent period. So this was January to April, okay? And we're going to look at, based on January to April of the previous year, have sales for those months increased or decreased? So if it's increased, you're just going to throw in some, green text and replace those X's with the percentage increase. By the way, if you're struggling to, with your maths and you're not too hot on your maths, literally just go to Google and type in percentage calculator. There's a tool that will come up, and if you type in the two values, so if, let's say in 2018 the sales were 100 grand in January, and in 2017 the sales were 50 grand, on the percentage calculator through Google, you can literally just type in percentage increase from 50k to 100k, and it will give you your percentage. Don't trust yourself. Always double check it. Always make sure it's triple correct whilst you're doing it. Don't be lazy. If you're knackered, take a break. Don't try and do these calculations when you're tired and you're more likely to make a mistake. It's not going to lend well to you having a banging product. And look, the worst thing that could happen in the world is you print something and you deliver something that's wrong and they pull you up on it. It's never happened to me, but I can see it happening already, and it's not a good place to be. So look, use a percentage calculator, fill in the data. This is obviously just for the last 4 months. If it's if you want to do it by quarter, do it for the last 3 months. It's all about when you're picking up your client and when you're working with them. Down here, you're going to put the month by month breakdown. You're going to put the 2017 number as well as the 2018 number, and then show the percentage drop. And that's it. Very simple, guys. It's not rocket science, right? Here we go. So then you're just going to do a simple head-to-head comparison of quarterly growth versus the most recent years. So look, the first 3 months, the first quarter of this year, you can say the increase was X. But then when we add April, that might change things. So it might still be an increase in total sales, or it might be a drop off, right? Just fill in the numbers. Very easy to do. You're literally just copying and pasting from Shopify the data. It's literally a copy and paste exercise right here. Again, you're trying to see trends. So if you're seeing that sales are increasing, guess what? That's a positive thing, isn't it? So now when you're talking about targets and goals with your client, you can say, look, we know that sales are increasing by 20% already. What can we agree that a good growth in your total sales is based on you're only doing X amount right now. So you're only doing 10% growth right now. What do you really want to be doing to please your investors, your partners, to please yourself, right? This is what that data is going to allow you to do and allow you to explain to your client. You can set really accurate targets. And again, look, this whole exercise is about being on the same page as your client. It's pointless you building out a service or an offering or a product that your client doesn't actually want and doesn't actually need. This should eradicate that from happening. The end result of a bad proposal or a bad execution of services that aren't needed is you're going to lose the client. And if you lose a client, you have to go through that whole system of finding another one, which if you've been in business for a while, you'll know isn't the most fun thing to do. Okay. Next, we're looking at the repeat customer rate. So from 2017, what percentage? It's literally a screenshot of the percentage. Talk about the increase or decrease in repeat customers. Repeat customers is a debatable thing as well. So when you're talking about your analysis here, and then this is for January to April, so the most recent period, has it increased? Has it decreased? What we're talking about here is out of every 10 sales, for example, how many are from existing buyers, right? A really high repeat customer rate is great because you have loyalty, you have brand loyalty from these customers. But at the same time, it's not that great because you can argue that to achieve growth, how are you going to achieve growth when it's only existing buyers who are buying? You're going to have to make your existing buyers spend more. And if you've done any campaigns in your life, you'll know that forcing existing buyers who are already loyal, who are already coming back, and trying to squeeze more pounds and pennies out of them, or dollars and cents out of them, is not always the best thing to do because you can lose that brand sentiment. And if you don't know what sentiment is, go ahead and Google it right now. But it's almost like that feeling that people associate and attach to your brand. If you're just trying to force them to buy too much and too often and increase the volume of sales you need from your existing customer base, they might switch off and they might not feel so good about buying from you in the future. So, like I'm trying to say here, with repeat customers, if it's really high, great, you've got loyalty. At the same time, if we're trying to achieve growth, there needs to be a good balance between sales coming from existing customers and sales coming from new customers, new traffic, new people. Yeah. As I've said, guys, a lot of ideas coming at you that you may not have considered or thought about. If you've got any questions, throw them in. If you're watching on the replay, whatever, throw them into the comment section and I will try and get round to them. But look, if you're keeping up so far, well done. Here we go. Next slide. Zoom in a little bit more. Going that way. Okay. Next slide. Average order value. Again, it's very important to know. Okay, so we know how many people are existing customers that keep on buying. We know how many sales are coming in every year. We know when the sales are coming in every month. What months are the hottest months? Now we know where the customers are coming from. Now we're looking at how much are the customers spending. So again, you go into your average order value, you go into Shopify, screenshot the values, put them into a graph. And look, if you need to build your own graph, a really easy tool to do that is with Google Sheets. Open up Google Sheets, make a column, list it 2015, 2016, 2017 down, and then put in the data, hit chart, and it will just graph it all up for you. Okay, it's not difficult at all. And look, if you didn't learn how to build a graph in school, either you're really old because you didn't have computers, or you're a bit of a donut. So either one, there's no excuse. Get these graphs on and find out the average order value. What's the trend? Are people steadily spending more every year? Are the average order values decreasing? You need to know this stuff, because if there's anything that is intriguing, it could affect your future campaigns. So pay attention to it and get that data in. Cool. Look, I need a quick 5-second break. Who's in here, man? I got what? How many? 6. It says 6 on my screen. Who's in here, man? Say hello if you're in here. If you can hear me right now, say what's up. Feels like I'm just barking into the computer, into the laptop. What are people up to? Bank holiday weekend coming up. The prelude to your bank holiday weekend is all this marketing and sales deep dive information. Not the most exciting shit to start your weekend off with. Unless you're looking at it and you're thinking, you know what? I could really make some good money from communicating this to a client. Mr. Isaac, Mr. Anderson, how you doing, brother? Dirty Matrix quote there, Mr. Anderson. You might be too young for the Matrix. If you're too young for the Matrix, go and watch it. Keanu Reeves, The Matrix. Here we go. Let's jump back into it, man. Cool. So now we're going to look at the sales sources again. Going to your Google. Well, look. So now it comes into a different software, guys. So this is done by Google Analytics. I've found good to hear your voice. That's a real compliment. Yes, Antoine, how you doing, brother? Still haven't got over my top 3 picks for Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. I'm assuming. Oh, you've seen it. Good stuff, Isaac. All right, cool. So look, you need to get familiar. If you're a marketer, if you're a digital consultant, you need to get very familiar with Google Analytics. Okay, it needs to be a priority. You need to be looking at Google Analytics. You need to be understanding what the data means. Very easy to find tutorials on YouTube on how to get certain data up. So right now we want to look at the top 10 sales sources. Okay. What you'll find from the graph, and look, again, if you need to build your own graph, go and import that data into Google Sheets, export it as a CSV, and get it onto your presentation, okay? Copy and paste exercise, have it in order so you know that, direct Google, Instagram, for example, might be the hottest for your client. That's for last year. Again, we go to the most recent months. So what are the top 10 sales sources from 2018 to date? Looking for patterns, we're looking for correlations, right? We don't want to get lost in the data. We want it to be very easy and simple to understand, okay? Copy and paste exercise again, fellas. You got 2017, you got 2018. If there's something interesting, if there's a consistency, if there's a trend, if there's a big change, what if the top 3 sales sources from 2017 aren't the top 3 sales sources from 2018? Do you think that's quite significant to pay attention to in your audit or your deep dive? I'd argue it's pretty damn significant, right? Next slide, moving on. So I've left this graph in there, obviously without the data and the values, but I wanted to show you what it looks like because it's obviously valuable for you guys to see what it looks like. So this is taken from Facebook Analytics. So I might do a video in the near future if it's helpful, if I get comments asking for it, on how to build out your own funnel, your conversion funnel in Facebook Analytics. But when you go, you see your page views, we want to see the customer journey in a visual way. What we're trying to actually identify here, guys, are weaknesses or challenges in the client's funnel. Okay, so look, if you imagine a funnel and you're pouring water into the top, all the people who come and view a page, not all of them go and view an actual product, which is a content view in this circumstance. All the people who look at a product, they ain't all going to go and add it to their cart, right? They got busy, they got distracted, they didn't really like what they saw, so they never added it to the cart. All the people who added it to the cart, right? And these are some considerations for you to, chew on, if you like. All the people that added it to the cart aren't going to initiate checkout. Why do a lot of people, one of the reasons why a lot of people add things to cart, and you've probably done it yourself if you've bought things online, is that they just want to see the shipping cost. They've seen the price of the products, but they don't know what the shipping costs are going to be. Maybe they want to see if there's tax added afterwards. There's a lot of factors that might mean that people who add to cart don't initiate checkout, right? Of course, the people who initiate the checkout don't always finish the process and eventually at the end purchase. Now, what you're trying to do here for your client, guys, is you're trying to map it out and then you're trying to identify a certain area. So let's say you want to improve the content view to the add to cart. So what way can we improve that straight off the bat? We can start running ads with the conversion objective of add to cart, and we can direct all of those ads at people who have viewed specific products. Yeah. So now all of a sudden, if we raise the percentage of people who are viewing products and adding them to cart through Facebook ads, we can probably improve the entire percentage of the conversion for the whole funnel. And look, we're getting specific now, and I know it ain't sexy, guys. Right? It ain't sexy talking about this stuff. It's technical. It's data driven. It's dry, man. Shit, I'm feeling dry. I've drank a whole glass of water, but I'm feeling dry just talking about it. And if you're feeling that, shit, this is really dry, man, and this is boring as hell, good. Because at the end of the day, you need to make it as entertaining as possible to your client, right? So you need to make sure they're engaged. And they should care about this stuff. And if they don't care about this stuff, they probably don't care about you. And if they don't care about you, that probably means you're not the expert in their eyes. And if you're not the expert in their eyes, you're probably not the expert. So in that case, pay more attention, take some more notes. Red text, identify the areas for improvement in the client's funnel. Yeah, already said that. Cool. So this is the data that'll be down there. When you get the template, this will all be removed. I'll be adding the template at the end. Guys, give me some feedback. Whoever's in here, talk to me. How are you finding it so far? Isaac, you still around? Antoine, how are you finding this so far, fellas? Give me some quick feedback. Cool. Conversion funnel again. So look, we've identified the problem. We drag it out and we make a bigger deal out of it here. And we can say why we think that it is the way it is. Seren, heavy content, brother. Thanks a lot, man. So look, we can say why it is the way it is, right? So currently all the conversion campaigns are optimized for purchase. The next part, the retargeting of content viewers, that's how we're going to actually solve the problem, right? And that's what we're trying to achieve and trying to do. Yes, Isaac, the footage. So when I finish this video, it will be added as a replay on the group so that you can rewatch it later on. Okay, so don't worry that if you're just jumping in now, don't worry. It will all be there pre-recorded later on. Cool. So now we're looking at site traffic again. There's not a lot to say here except for the analysis that you have. So you go down, top 10 traffic locations, Google Analytics, find the traffic, put it into find the traffic locations in terms of countries, right? So if you look, I'm just going to drag one of these out. Here we go. Oh, we're never going to see it. All right, Ireland is number 7 for this example, right? So these are countries. The data should be there. This is from last year. Again, we're trying to find trends. We're trying to find what's working for the client, what's not working for the client. This is for the first quarter, so the most recent period. We're comparing those two. We're saying, look, what are the locations that people are coming to our store from? Okay, again, the snapshot from Google Analytics. Then we're going to do a comparison, right? So 2017 versus 2018. The focus is on the percentage share. So we don't really care about the numbers and the volume here, guys. We care about the percentage, okay? So we want to know if you've got a full pie, what percentage of that pie is coming from the US? What percentage is coming from the UK? And has it grown or has it shrunk from last year? Okay, so again, we're looking for trends, we're looking for patterns. You got to put your financial market trading forex hat on for this as well to start seeing what's emerging and what you can learn from the data. Okay, is there growth? Are there percentages decreasing? And look, just because there's a percentage decrease, that might just be because another location has increased. So don't think the alarm bells should be ringing just because the UK has shrunk by 10%. Well, maybe the US has grown by 10%, so that's the reason why that percentage has changed. Okay, guys. So don't look. Never be. You have to be consistent in your analysis. Be very impartial, very emotionless, and consistent in not everything you do in life, but with your marketing analysis. Okay, it's very important. Don't get excited. Don't over assume. When you get excited about data and you think you know something, your ego will tell you that you've learned something and you're valuable, and then you might overextend in your campaign doing something that isn't warranted out of excitement. Okay, got to be very careful and disciplined in that sense. But look, simple comparison, very easy to do. If you want to learn how to do this, type into Google, compare dates in Google Analytics. Oh, by the way, if they don't have Google Analytics installed on their site, don't worry about it. Install it for them. But then you can take traffic data away from their Shopify, or if it's Wix or whatever platform they're using. Okay, there should be a trail of data to find things out about their history. Okay, if there's not anything, guys, you can't give them this product. If they're starting from zero, there's nothing to dive deep into. Right? So make sure that before you try and pitch this, you tell the client, look, have you got Google Analytics installed? Have you got a Facebook Pixel installed onto your e-commerce site? How many ads have you got Ads Manager? Are you running advertising? You should be asking all these questions before you even pitch anything anyway, right? Qualify them, ask them what you need to know. So we've done location. And again, guys, I'm flying through this, but I don't want to stay here all day, and I don't want to keep you here all day either. Now we're going into the age. So what are the age of the visitors? Again, we're just comparing last year to this year, Q1 versus Q1 this year. What are the patterns? Is there increases in particular age ranges? If there's an increase in the older population who are visiting the site, guys, that's a really valuable thing to know. That means that you need to ask the question, why? Why are there older people now coming to the site? Have you changed your targeting? Have you changed your products? Have you now started advertising to the older population? Very, very good for grabbing some quick extracts of knowledge about your client from. Okay. Again, all of this is very simple. You're not trying to overcomplicate things. You're not trying to blow your client's head off with the amount of information I'm blowing your head off with right now. Okay. Again, age. So that was Q1 last year. This year. This is January to April now, so Q1 plus April versus the whole of 2017. So we're doing a head-to-head. See what you find out. Look, you can come to this video as much as you like. If you miss something, just come back to this and reference this. Pie charts are good for representing the percentage share. Again, you can literally screenshot all of this out of Google Analytics. Woo! Gender, again, same thing, guys. You're gonna choose gender. You're gonna do some analysis. Talk about it. Look, there's a slight increase in female population. Maybe there's a balance between men and women who are buying. Don't forget, Google won't always know who is a male and a female. They've got a lot of data on you, but that's another thing that is representative. Look, all of this data, none of it's 101% accurate. Okay. Sarah, you gotta wake up, bro. You gotta get your head out your ass, man. I need to flip in. R.I.P. headphone users. Yeah, my bad, fellas. Well, look, if you were falling asleep, hopefully you would have snapped out of it by now. Get in the game. Get in the game. Again, gender. Bang. Da 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 da. Done. Copy and paste. Screenshot it. If you're a Mac user, you can use Command, Shift, and 4 I'll say that again. If you're a Mac user, to screenshot a certain selection of your screen, Command, Shift, and number 4, okay? And then you can just drag whatever part of your screen you want, and it will be saved onto your hard drive. You're welcome. That is the top tip of the day. Next, acquisition. Where are these guys coming from again? So we've done locations in terms of countries, we've done gender, we've done age. Now we want to find out where they're coming from, what platforms. Are they coming from ads? Are they coming from direct search? Are they coming from putting it straight into the URL, www. I was going to say something funny then, but maybe not. www. Whatever your client's website is. Okay, I'll leave that up to your imagination to fill in the blank.com. Yeah, it's probably all right. Here's a good one. Fill in the blank. www. with your favorite website, and then put a .com on the end, and that's your potential client for this whole presentation. Okay. Next, put it into a pie chart. So you might have to build this one out yourself, or you can copy and paste it. But as you can see, you'll get a good understanding of where things are happening and where people are coming from. Then we just do a straight head-to-head. So look, bada bing, bada boom, 22%. So you want to see increase, decrease. Very self-explanatory here, guys. Again, look at the date ranges, Jan to April 2018-17, and this is the top 10. So we've gone a bit deeper into finding out, what's here. Just to give you an idea, look, so Instagram.com, Pure Gym, yeah. Product. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what we've covered so far. Okay, and look, it's going to be finished soon for all of you itching to go and do more important things for the weekend. So you got your introduction. Those slides are right there. So you got your intro, your contents. You're all going to have this by the end of this presentation. Then you've got your overview, right? You've got your snapshot. So what's going on, what's happened. You've got all of those slides. Then you've got your growth drivers. Then you've got your Shopify data. So the important parts of what you need to know, as well as your conversion funnel. Okay, so where the conversions are happening, and the Facebook analytics side of things. Then we've got the locations, the traffic, so that's Google Analytics, the age of your traffic, the gender of your traffic, and where your traffic is coming from with the acquisition. Yeah. Now we're moving on. So that's just a quick recap of what we've gone through. Matter of fact, where is the conversion funnel? I didn't see it then. I might have hit delete. Oh, there we go. Slide 22. So that's a Facebook Analytics graph. Like I said, if any of you don't know how to do that, I might show you another time. Cool. Now we're getting into product. Okay, so now we're going to actually analyze. So what do we know? We know the snapshot. We know what's going on in their business. We know where their sales are. We know the pattern and the trend of their sales and what's been going on over the last couple of years. Now we know in what months and time periods of the year are the products flying off the shelves. What months are there no products flying off the shelves? If we're talking about growing a business, right, and growing their sales and revenue, okay, guys, is it the best idea to focus on when people are already buying, or would it be a lot more effective to focus all of our advertising spend on the months where it's the coldest, when no one's buying? Where do you think we can achieve the most growth? It's a good question, right? It's for you to debate in your own mind and have as many sleepless nights as I've had to have asking myself these questions, right? Product. Now we're going to go. So this is a custom graph. This is built on Google Slides. Get very comfortable building quick graphs on Google Slides. So if they've got product categories already set up, you'll do the top 3 categories and you'll announce the winner for the last year. List out the top products by total sales. So I don't do individual products because if your client, if your client has hundreds of products, which by all means they should and could have, you don't want to list out. That's a graph that nobody wants to build, and trust me, nobody wants to look at, right? So if you categorize them, you know, maybe again, think of your www. Fill in the blank of your favorite website .com. Think of their products and their services or product services. Damn, some of you guys be filthy, right? But think about their products and services and put it into a nice graph where you can visually represent what's selling the most and what's selling the least. Okay, left hand side is revenue. Put a percentage as well of the total sales for each. The percentage is more important than the number. Who cares if the number's 10 million or 100,000? Okay, it's the percentage share of that category that you need to be focused on. Okay, a bit more on that later. Here, you'll do it in a pie chart. So again, like I just said, it's about the percentage share of total sales for each category. Then you might want to say, look, okay, these two categories account for nearly half of your entire sales for 2017. It's good to know. Okay, you need to know what's selling, and you need to know why it's selling as well. Again, just representing the data in a different way. Here's how you can do it. Use the percentage calculator on Google that I've mentioned before to put this data in there. Use the revenue figures from Shopify. Double check you've always got the right figures. Be extra careful. And list out the top products in order of percentage share. Add it all up at the end. It should come up and balance with these numbers. This should be 100. That should be whatever the balance of this is that you exported from Shopify. Okay, guys. Then that's 2017. Now we do 2018, the most recent periods. We're trying to see changes. If you can see these two graphs, they're looking quite similar, aren't they? So that tells us that there's some consistency going on. Again, list it out. Don't need to say it all again. Do the same thing for this. See those two categories, they're accounting for a slight increase now, so they're still selling and the sales are growing for these two product categories, okay? Almost identical percentage share, so these two probably are selling the same, all right? Just very simple analysis, guys. Make it very easy for yourself. Don't bore anyone to death, right? I'm trying to make this as entertaining as possible for you boys. I don't even think if there is a woman who tunes in, I apologize for the male references, but I think it is just a mainly, get it? Mainly population who are going to be viewing this video. Anyway, next. Again, whack it into the same format. And then here, you can just literally copy and paste using Command Shift and what number for Mac users? Command Shift 4. Dog's going crazy. Command Shift 4, right? So you can screenshot both of those and you can literally put them head to head and start seeing where the growth is occurring. So what categories are growing, what categories aren't. Again, that's RIP headphone users for the dog bark. Don't be wearing headphones for these walkthroughs, man. It's a dangerous, high-risk game you're playing if you are. Cool. Now we're moving on to the paid social, ladies and gentlemen. So the ads performance. What you want to do here is you want to put in a graph since they started advertising. How the blue represents what they've spent on Facebook ads. The red represents website purchase value. Okay. Put the percentage. The percentage here is the return on ad spend, guys. So this isn't what percentage of ad spend is sales. Don't make that mistake. This is the return on ad spend. Guess what? If you've never done a return on ad spend calculation before, go to Google, type in return or ROAS calculator. Do a Google search. You'll have 100 to choose from. You literally put in the revenue, put in the ad spend, and it will give you a lovely percentage. One quick tip with this, remove commas, and if you've got decimals, that's fine, obviously to represent pennies and cents, whatever, but remove commas. So if you've got a billion, for example, remove all the commas between the zeros, because that throws some of these calculators off. You don't want your data to take a inaccurate hit, okay? But here we go, sales performance from ads has steadily increased. So this is your analysis. As you can see, things are going, ad spend has grown, the return on ad spend has grown dramatically here, and then this is Q1 of 2018. So what is the return on ad spend percentage here? So for every pound, what you're trying to figure out here is, guys, what their current performance is. For every pound that they put into ads, how many pounds do they get back out? For every £1, do they get £5, £6? And that's represented by, if you've got 600%, it's times 6 return on ad spend. Remember as well, return on ad spend is not return on investment, okay? Return on ad spend is not return on investment. Remember that. The two differences, so return on ad spend, before someone asks, return on ad spend is obviously the return on the fucking ad spend, right? It's not rocket science. The return on investment includes all the additional costs. So the cost, your fee, what are they paying you? So they paid the ad spend, they've also paid you. If they've got another marketing designer, they've paid him to get the campaign off the ground. It's all of those costs included, okay? And that's the return on investment on marketing. If you're talking about return on investment as a whole, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, okay? Anyway, next slide. So you fill in the data. So how much are they spending? So you really want to know how much they're spending per day, week, and month on ads, okay? This is a screenshot taken from Ads Manager. You can find it in your Business Manager. Go to Ads Manager, to Summary, set the date range that you want to see, and then you'll get your daily chart come up. So then you can see how much you spend in a day, how much you spend in a week, how much you spend in a month, okay? And this is the number that you want to be dividing that ad spend by. Okay, so for month, divide the ad spend by 4 weeks, 17 weeks, 119 days. Okay, you want to do the same for the website purchase conversion value. So whatever dates you want to use, get that graph out of there. Same day, week, month, pretty easy to see, understand. And then literally just do a head-to-head. So for every day we spent, I don't know, £50, how much did we get attributed to our ads for purchases? Okay, fill these numbers in. You'll blow your client away. They will not have done this for themselves, guys. And unless they've got an in-house social media analyst, well, why the hell do they need you anyway? If they've got an in-house team, right? You could consult with them, of course, but this is an outsourced solution. This is an audit, if you like, of what's been going on. If they didn't know this, they wouldn't buy the product off you if they already knew it. Sorry. So look at your data as well. There should be a good correlation between the attributed web purchases and the ad spend. Okay. So as you can see, the conversion value here has gone high. Ad spend has also risen. Here, this day here on this line, ad spend's gone up, and so is website purchase conversion value. So you're looking for correlations. A red flag, and you're looking for red flags as well, okay? So if this went up like this, and this was just really low, that was a really bad day for ad spend, okay? So like if you look here, ad spend's quite high here, and it hasn't correlated in a lot of sales. Potential red flag to look into. Look into the ads, look into the date, all this data is only useful when it's used in comparison to itself, okay? Paid social placements. So now you want to look at where they are sending their ads and what the performance of those ads are in terms of purchases. Okay, put it into a graph. You can export that straight out of your Facebook ad account, or your client's ad account. Down here, again, so you're doing your placement. So it's just literally the same graph, but this one's got analysis on it. You find the top 3, a return on ad spend, placements, and you whack out all the percentages to show, look, this wasn't done in the right order, but these are the top 3 placements by return on ad spend, not necessarily by total website purchase. There may be loads of purchases happening here. There might be a small purchase happening here that gives a good result, which isn't really accurate. Again, we're looking for the percentage return on the ads that we're sending out. Put it into order. So you found the top 3 placements, these 3 examples: newsfeed, right column, mobile newsfeed, and then you want to find what percentage share did all of these placements have. You want this number to be as high as possible, because that means that they doubled down on certain areas and they knew what they were doing. If it's really low, then chances are they didn't have much of a clue what was going on, or they were doing a lot of testing. Okay, again, something you need to go and look into and review. Okay, paid social placements for 2018, same thing. Do the exact same thing. Do some analysis. You know, what are the top 3 return on ad spend? I put this graph in order, I think. There you go. Bang, bang, bang. And then you screenshot this, and you screenshot this, and you put them here. So 2017 versus 2018. Again, you're looking for changes, trends, patterns, consistencies, and a little bit of analysis sprinkled on top. Yeah. The 2 main platforms head to head. So now we're looking at, okay, how much did you spend on Facebook? So we're digging a little bit deeper into their Facebook ads and what they've been doing. 2017, Facebook versus Instagram, how much they spent, how much is the conversion value. You can easily separate this out by breakdown in your ads manager, okay? Again, if you don't know how to do this, ask the question. I might do a quick walkthrough in addition to this later on for those of you who are serious. There you go, attributed sales. Then you do the same for 2018. Now guess what you can do? You can see the level of growth. So look, you might have Instagram's performance increasing, right? So if we're doing a new ads campaign, guess where we might want to focus a lot of our attention? The return on ad spend is increasing the most on Instagram versus Facebook. Yeah? Again, questions, fire away, fire away. Campaign usage, bang. Find out their top 4 campaign usage. Get these stats out. So if you go to your Facebook ads manager and you go to breakdown, you can find out, look at the traffic conversion engagement campaigns, you can find out this individual information, okay? You might have to do a custom breakdown and go and find and type these in, but most of them are already up there as it stands as a default, okay? Then you want to do a bit of analysis. So look, did they break even on X campaigns? What are the average amount of ad sets to the amount of ads to ad sets? So are they split testing? What are they doing? La-di-da-di-da. Same for 2018. Not a lot to say. This is obviously the most recent data. So you want to maybe say, look, is there a lack of campaign diversity? Why is there so much ad spend or so little ad spend going to a certain campaign objective? What's the return on investment or the return on ad spend for this objective? Are there good split tests? Are there not so good split tests? This is all for you to find out, okay? Creatives, go in there. So if they've already got ads, go and grab their best ads by result. So remember the difference. This is by result of whatever objective they tried to pull, okay? So if they were trying to get video views, ad 1 may be exceptionally cheap at getting video views, right? This is by result as well for the most recent time period. Very easy. Go into the ads manager, find the ads, list them by breakdown, sort them by breakdown, sorry, I should say. And then once you've got that, you're going to take the best 5, okay, top 5 ads. Then we're going to list the ones by purchase value, so whatever made the most money. Now you're going to start to see where their ad campaigns have done pretty well already, okay? So you want to list the number, put the ad in, and you want to do the same thing for 2018 as well. So this is 2017, 2018. Now you're starting to get an idea of what creative is working for these clients and what campaigns have already been running, right? Audiences, very, very simple section. You're literally going to go in, show me the custom audiences, and it's going to show you, and you're going to screenshot it, and you're going to say what number of audiences. Are there a high number? Are they utilizing it? Are they underutilizing it? Second one, warm audiences, so website viewers. There should be a ton of audiences built for this. If you've done my hacked program, if you've done the hyper accelerated consultant training, you know there's 5 audiences we build for every client campaign off the bat, okay? There should be 15 to 20 when you start getting more advanced and you start learning what you're doing, okay? They should be there. Screenshot them and just have it listed what's there. Put a bit of analysis. Maybe there's a low value for video engagement audiences, custom audiences, Facebook page and ads. And that's kind of what the screenshot's going to look like. Okay, guys, so that's what it's going to be. If it doesn't look like that, you're in the wrong place. But that's what it's going to be. Obviously, I've blacked out. I've put some red boxes on top of the data to just give you an example. Okay. Paid social advertising, lookalike audiences. So look, a couple of rules of thumb that I use and that we use for campaigns right now. Lookalikes should be over a milli in size at least. Something that we could do moving forwards is obviously test the top 5 countries that are coming to the site, test lookalikes in those countries first, and create them from all of these different segments. Okay. Paid social ads, saved audiences, the coldest audience that you'll ever have on Facebook. You're going to segment these audiences into smaller numbers, or that's what I've wrote here. We can get 3 or 4 audiences. So I think this example that I had here at the time had pretty high saved audience volumes, and I do recommend having quite high saved audience volumes. However, they were just way too broad. Okay, and I wanted to narrow those down. Bang! We're coming towards the end, ladies and gents. MailChimp. Here we go. So, what we're trying to find out from MailChimp, we're trying to find out when people open their email the most and when they click through the most. Okay, 2 very good metrics for measuring your email. Gets a lot deeper, but very simple overview of those 2 gives you a good indication of what you should be focusing on moving forwards. Here, so these examples, you can fill them in, change them to whatever you want them to be. Here, again, you fill them in, change them to whatever you want them to be. This is 2018, this is 2017 by day. Now this is frequency, okay? So this is actually what day of the week were people contacted, okay? So it's not on total emails sent, right? This is how many days of the 28-day month, for example, did somebody receive an email per day, okay? Want to measure that number. So, here we've got 9.9. We want to figure out what that number is because that's a touch point, right? If someone was sent 10 emails in a day, that's quite misleading. Or if 10 email campaigns were sent out in a day, that can also be quite misleading. As opposed to if 10 days of the month somebody received an email, that's a different metric, and that's what we're measuring here, the frequency by day. Okay, these graphs, by the way, so they've been put in by my lovely assistant with little blocks. So if you've got 4 days a week, for example, you can literally just stack these blocks up and align them with a right click. Or if you go to arrange, go to align and align center, and that will put them all into nice, lovely order for you. Okay. Now we're looking at the performance. So again, how many emails are going out, okay, and to what lists and what number of days. Right, I'm losing my blood sugar now, guys. We're coming to the end. Jesus Christ. I thought it was going to be a lot quicker and a lot easier to get through this content. But there's so much to know. There's so much to know and there's so much to absorb. I can only do my best to try and give you as much knowledge as possible as quickly as I can. Okay. If this is making sense, fantastic. You're probably already doing pretty well. If it's not making sense, stick with it. Watch it over and over, and it will help you get to where you want to be with your level of skill. Then you're going to quickly go into MailChimp, and you're going to check out the highest grossing email campaigns or whatever email marketing software they have. It should track the purchases that are made from those ads. Again, you're trying to look for the design, you're trying to see what's working in a very overview type of way. And then you're going to do the same thing for click-through rate. So this is revenue, how much money did they make off an email sent? And this is click-through rate, how many people as a percentage clicked through when they received those emails. Okay. Now, there's if I just open this up a little bit, if you look down here, there's 4 more sections to this. Okay, the thank you one's obviously just a thank you slide. The growth strategy is 16 slides. So the growth strategy we put into there is the proposal based on all the data we've just had. Now, if I get enough requests, I'll go through this as well. But if I don't, you know, fuck it. I've got to save myself some time. So yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know when you're watching this, when you're rewatching this, if you want me to go through the growth strategy. If you made it this far in the video, congratulations. You are committed. You are an action taker, and you are learning more about marketing by watching this video. So congratulations to you. Shout out to you. Whoever's here on the replay now, whatever the weather, well done. I hope this has helped. I'm not going to go through the growth strategy right now. If you're in my mentorship programs, if you're in my, if you're in my gang, right, you should know a lot of this stuff already. Obviously, if you're just starting out, a lot of this might be going over your head. However, it should just be connecting the dots. Okay, all I ever try to do is connect the dots with marketing. This is taking in not just Facebook ads, as you can see. This is looking at things from a much broader perspective. What we do is not limited to just Facebook ads, guys, all right? We're marketers, we're growth marketers. That means that if we're trying to grow your brand or your business by whatever metrics, sales, engagement, sign-ups, you name it, leads, there's so many different ones to take into consideration. But if we're trying to grow somebody's company through doing that, right, it's not just limited to just advertising. Advertising is a specialist skill that we can use to help us achieve all of those individual objectives, right? Don't limit yourself just to that. Know that you've got a lot more value to bring to the table. And if you look at this overview, each one of these areas are their own world. Put your client's logo in the middle, by the way. They're all their own world, yeah? So you can improve one piece of this puzzle, and if you do improve it really well, your client will be, their business could increase dramatically, all right? So if you increase the site visitors through paid ads, through a campaign, guess what? You're getting more people coming into your funnel. That means that there's probably going to be more sales and purchases happening if that conversion percentage stays the same, right? If you increase the YouTube subscribers, now we're getting more organic traffic potentially. If we can increase the Instagram following, now we've got a bigger sample size of people who are tied into our brand that we can target with ads, right? So any one of these areas, guys, improve one of these areas, improve all of these areas, and think about yourself. Put your face here, right? Put your face in the middle of this diagram, and know that if you can improve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 aspects of your clients or your own business, right, through understanding how they all work and integrate and interact together, you are going to be on track to being a very, very rich man or woman. Okay, so I hope this has helped. For those of you who are watching this, who have been waiting for this for 2 weeks, I can only say thank you for obviously showing the interest in it. You guys are the reason why I've took this time out of my Friday just before bank holiday weekend to get this put together. If you want to learn more about the growth strategy side of things, the investment, so this is where we break down the cost, the case study, which is always good to throw in a case study to show where you've done it before, put it in the comments and I'll be dropping another video for you if I get enough interest. If there's not enough interest, all the better, right? I'll save it for one of my paid programs, which a lot of you know they don't come too cheap, right? So look, we're selling this product 2 to 3 grand a pop, right? If you can master the value proposition in this product, you could sell one of these a month, guys, and you're talking about selling one of these a month for 2K, and you've got an additional 24K stream of revenue coming into your business per year. One of these a month. How difficult is it going to be for you to fill out 100 slides worth of data from the sources that I've just shown you to achieve that additional 24k. That's a full-time salary here in the UK, guys, right? You can do that by selling one of these per month. Don't sleep on that. It's got massive value in it for your clients. But without banging on too long and keeping you even longer, look, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you've taken a lot of value away from it. I hope you've taken notes as well. I hope you ask some questions if you're watching the replay. And if you know people who are interested in marketing and sales, hit them up with the group link and get them to apply to come into the group and have them benefit from this value that we're trying to give and promote through the group. Okay. For those of you, last note. So there's a few individuals who keep asking me about when am I going to put out a new program. Okay, currently there's something cooking up. Now it's based on, as you can see, this is a much broader picture to being a marketer and to being an effective growth marketer than just Facebook ads. Okay, a lot of you have done really well with the Facebook ad side of things, and I'm really happy about that. But there's so much more value you can give to companies, and there's so much more value you can receive in your bank accounts. Okay, so this next product, I'm really excited that I'm building as we speak. I'm strategizing and building it as we speak right now, and it's going to blow. It's going to blow a lot of you away. I'm going to be doing a beta or a beta launch, depending on where you're from in the world. I'm going to be doing a launch to a small group of individuals to get them to trial it. It's going to be full of, if this is just a snippet of, a bigger picture, it's going to be full of stuff like this that have not only been selling really well, but have had really positive impact and feedback from our clients. Okay, that's on the way. So look, many exciting things coming. Thank you for joining. If you did pop in, respect. For those of you that said hello, goodbye, good night. Luke, Isaac, Seren, Jack, all of the crew. This is Aaron Branch, and I'm signing out. Thanks so much, fellas. Take it easy.